The impact of this image needs to be studied. I am Crystal, and today I present to you the answer to your question, which has been verified, right?
Yes.
So, let's get into it. So some background knowledge on the state of Silver, if you will. We all know the story. Silver was abandoned by Sega after 06, but the concept was unique and had people theorizing and suggesting on how to explore his potential. This was, and quite honestly still is, the sentiment, and it dates back for more than 5 years. Just remember how people were so happy back when issue 76 of the IDW comics came out. They were really happy with how Aaron Hammerster drew the cast, and more specifically Silver. Their art direction was so different, and it seemed that Silver's demeanor changed as well, simply by changing the direction of the art. I bet if that issue was redrawn in the same artistic approach of this issue, it would have not had the same effect on people. The community has these types of bursts of discussion about a character from time to time, and in our case, discussion about the characterization of Silver as a serious or other traits that led him to be closely depicted to how he was showcased in 06. And as these bursts of conversations die down, they become forgotten and nothing more than that ever takes place. So, why did this artwork break through the discussion and inspire others to create?
I feel like it's mostly because of the desire of like wanting to see Silva do stuff again, because it's been a while. Like you've seen, I think at that time I remember like seeing so many posts of like people slanderizing Silva, you know. I think especially because of how he was in early IDW. I'd say it's like better now, but like how he was in early IDW, or even in the games at the time, like Team Sonic Racing, you know. Like a lot of people just like want to see the Silva they remember seeing back then, and like I guess seeing that artwork like inspired them to do more stuff with that. So like, you know, explore like Silva's more, I guess like more what's it called? Edgy? Not edgy, but like something more engaging. And I guess they just like enjoyed the idea. And I know it's not exactly my idea. It's just like what everyone got from the Crossbow stuff. So yeah.
As Korn stated, the lack of similar characterization of Silver from 06 in any canon media today is the reason why those discussions took place in the first place. Let's take this a step further by comparing this IDW issue with Korn's art to find a specific answer for this artwork's effect. Let's write down the facts. Both have good visual artistic depiction of Silver's mannerism. And that's our answer. Because it is fan-made. The advantage of Korn's art being a fan work or non-canon is because it is not fully closing off other routes for Sega to take. Whatever official media there is, it constrains the story that could be written. It's the same reason why Archie Comics had a hard time adapting new game stories, because Archie had too much detail going on for it, which when it tries to adapt the game story, it just barely works. And in our case, Sega doesn't want to give too much detail, that way when Sonic IP is used for any other company-related things such as making a movie and adapting it into cartoons, details are going to be added, not molded. Just imagine if Sega wrote and made a game or comic or something about Silver's story. Then they would have to fill in the gap between Sonic's time and Silver's future with a capped amount of story beats. So instead, they chose to bring Silver to the present and not worry about the future aspect of it. At least that's what I think is going on the surface level. This reason is really the only one I can think of for why Silver doesn't have his own thing, and it's because he's a time traveler. It makes him a special case because if we know something about the far future, then the seeds for whatever's gonna happen needs to be planted in the present day story, or else it would feel detached. Like imagine if Silver comes to the present day and he gardens, and then leaves to, I don't know, fight a sentient AI in the future. Feels a bit too much. This explains why every time time travel is involved, we never stay in the future. This is also a reason why we probably will never get a year of hope, ironically, but I'll get to that later. Silver's visual characterization are short-lived and can only go as far to give the community what they want to see from Silver, because the art direction can only take Silver so far. The story also needs to show him being, well, him, but still.
Well, there are other fan-made Silver stuff, so why this one?
Honestly, I believe this part has to do with so many factors, like timing of the art being around the time people were already talking about Silver and Sage's dialogue. I mean, he said it himself.
What inspired you to make the Silver future concept art?
Okay, so the idea of like the future Silver stuff, like it was always in my head, I'd say. Like, but it was like it's mostly inspired off of this like one. I remember like this one artwork I've seen in the past. I can't remember who the artist was or if I can find it. But there was like this one art I seen a few years ago where it was like Silver going through like this abandoned, like I don't know what it's called, like a science lab of sorts, and then you just see like a shadow being sealed and stuff. I thought that was like really cool. And then like it was in my head this year, but like after the Crossroads stuff popped up, like I'm seeing people do the connections with Sage and Silver because of dialogue. That was like the one that like pushed the nail to me for me to like proceed with that. And also the fact that there's like this other thing going on, like unrelated to Sonic and stuff, but there was like this thing going on where like maybe want to like practice backgrounds a bit more, and I kind of used that as a way to do that as well.
So yeah, the art was partially inspired by those conversations. But I believe the main reason comes down to the fact that it is a concept art piece. The purpose of a concept art piece is to evaluate different ways in which elements may be visualized in the final product. In our case, the art piece evaluates a future which the characters Silver and Sage interact that could be a potential future for Silver. The nature of this kind of artwork is to suggest a story that isn't concrete, and as such, it opened the opportunity to others to create a continuation of the story, like what happens after, or what happens before, or what is happening at this very moment. His concept art is so effective to the point where if you see this, you see Silver, but if you add on a scarf from Boom, and suddenly Silver becomes a fighting hero against evil Sage in the future. And you get the point. This concept art did its job really well. As to the reason why this concept art specifically, well, there is only one way to answer that. So grab your weapon of choice and let's get to dissecting this art piece starting now. The artwork is eye-catching, but what makes it so? It's the art, but like, let's be more specific. Is it the rendering, the colors, the effects, or is it the story? The reason why is the foundation of everything mentioned above. One word: composition. At the core of it all, it is the composition that pulls the viewer's eyes towards the important points and tells the story all together. So where does the composition start? According to these research papers, people naturally tend to look for anything that resembles a face, in this case, Silver's. Then from Silver's face, the viewer will be curious to see what he's looking at, which leads them to the dome, which in turn seems to be looking at you. I'm sure we don't need to find evidence to find that being looked at for a bit too long, stared at to be exact, you don't feel comfortable. So once this interaction concludes, the audience is free to look elsewhere, and yet they will be gravitated back to the dome in Silver. This is all because of the composition of not only the placement of the characters, but also the perspective. From here on out, if you're anything like me, you'll try to avoid the face of the dome, and sooner or later notice Silver clenching his fist. He's on mission. This is the point where the viewer has a rough idea of what's going on in the story. And if an art piece has done that with the minimal amount of time and detail, it has succeeded as a concept art. This artwork is perfect for the audience at the time it was posted till now because it uses the power of composition to tell a story which explores a subject many are interested in. But repetition itself is not always a cause for truth, so let's ask Korn himself. On a scale of 1 to 5, how important would you rate using composition as something you actively consider as you work on your illustrations, and why?
On a scale of 1 to 5, I would say, I'd say 5. Mainly because like for me, a good art piece is like pleasing to the eye, and like having a good composition like really helps with that. So if there's like one piece off about that composition, like it's just gonna bother me. So it is something I try to like focus on or keep in mind whenever I do a piece. I try to like there are like many ways to I guess like do compositions, like there's the rules of thirds, there's the triangles, all that stuff, right? But basically like just keep your idea in mind and like try to like see how you can combine that with any of the composition methods, like just something pleasing to the eye, essentially.
How long did it take to complete the artwork? Was it in like a single sitting as well?
I think it took about 3 hours. I remember it taking like around one sitting.
Was there a challenging part of making the artwork?
I did struggle a bit with the third one because it was like a very crazy angle, like them being on the train and like all the building and stuff like that. So I did struggle a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
And same with the last one, which is like all the force and all that stuff. So yeah.
How do you come up with these ideas? Because from an outsider, it seems like you already have a story in mind and you're like slowly building in the visuals for it.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you come to a point where you kind of like can visualize like a brief idea in your head and just like find the references for that and try to like play around with that. Like with this, I had an idea of like, something like what's that jungle sonic adventure called? I forgot. It's always like Big's house and stuff. Like essentially that area.
Mm-hmm.
The one from '06, but I think this is called Tropical Jungle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like combine that with like this one cave I saw a video of like a while back. I was like, ooh, I can make something here. It's essentially that.
Before you started drawing that artwork, did you have a concrete story you wanted to convey, or were you coming up with the story as you drew the artwork?
I'll be real, like I wasn't intending like going any further with that silver post. Like I just kind of like did as a quick idea. I was like, ooh, future silver stuff. Let me do that real quick.
Oh my god.
And then and then I saw like how big it got, how popular it got, like how people want to see more of it. I was like, all right, sure. And I did more of that. Like, and that's like when I guess like a brief plot, or like brief like idea on like how Silver's world would be. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Was there an interpretation you really liked or were surprised by?
I remember when I first posted that artwork, like I was like surprised that everyone was saying Sage. Like even though like in my head that was supposed to be Sage. Like I'm surprised people were like thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna go against Sage. Because like if you look at the first artwork, there's like nothing to tell you that it's like about Sage.
Yeah.
Do you plan on continuing this as an illustration collection, or would you like to move on to other topics you can explore using these characters?
Yeah, the latter. Like I do want to do most of it with Silver, but like right now I do want to like if I can do this with Silver, I think I can do with some other characters as well. Like I think a character there's like 2 characters in my head. Like I wanna, like if I could, like I want to touch upon would be Infinite and Knuckles.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I see the vision.
I feel like Knuckles is like very obvious. Like Angel Island. If you play DK Bonanza, I think you can like get the idea. Mm-hmm. But Infinite's like interesting one. Like I feel like you can do a lot of things with him if he did come back.
That is interesting. Yeah. Especially with the... Okay. I'm like going down the rabbit hole of like what if you use the Master Emerald or something.
A lot of people were inspired by your artwork to pick up a pencil, an instrument, or a computer and start creating. So I wanted to know what inspired you to start drawing.
Start drawing? I'm trying to think. Like it's obviously the Sonic. Like I remember when I was a kid, I was like searching up on YouTube how to draw Sonic, and I remember watching specifically this one guy. I think his name's like Cartoon Black, and I was just like watching his guidelines and like seeing how that was, and that's basically how like my art journey like started completely, I'd say. And yeah, I just been like drawing on paper ever since, and then it wasn't the best, I'd say, but it was good at the time, I'd say. And then yeah, like it takes time for you to like get used to your fundamentals, like understanding how things like work guideline wise and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, obviously, and then I think I moved to digital when it was 2016. I got my drawing tablet from my dad, and yeah, that was like a bit of a learning, it's called relearning stage as well. It took a bit, but yeah. I mean, it was just like purely a hobby at the time, I'd say. But then at around like 20, I want to say like 2019 was like when I started taking like a little bit more seriously, because I did like an accidental like art study, and then I realized like, oh my god, this is actually so much fun. and then around 2022, I'd say that's like when around Frontiers started. That was like when I started taking art like very, very seriously. Like I started like doing like commissions, all that stuff, you know. And yeah.
What inspired you to keep on drawing? Because it is hard to stay motivated, especially when like you're self-taught.
I think the biggest thing, like genuinely, is like just having fun with drawing. Like having fun with drawing, and also like it's weird. Like you don't have to be like too satisfied with how you draw, because otherwise then it's like you're content with like how you are, you know. And for me, like I just want to like keep going, keep doing backgrounds, keep doing insane stuff more and more, you know, because it's just like cool to see growth. I just like look back at your old stuff and like you know what I'm saying. And what else? I know that's like a thing where most artists, especially like self-taught artists, I'd say, where they focus a lot on likes and like engagement. And I get that, like I completely get that. Like that definitely like does add to your motivation as well. But I don't think relying on it is like a good idea, because eventually that will just like backfire on you. Because it'll just make you feel discouraged, like keep trying and all that stuff.
Yeah, I totally get that. And there's a lot of things that like comes with like comparison as well, right? Because suddenly you have the metrics of like the likes and stuff.
I think it's called like imposter syndrome. Like I know a few people went through that, and yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So how do you get maybe over a burnout or like a creative block? Do you have like certain things you'd like to do?
There's like two things I would do. Like obviously I think that the best one, like the safest one, is just like taking a break. Like just take it slow. You don't have to like push yourself to do something you don't want to do, right? And then the other part where it's like go back to the basics, like do some art stuff, like draw a ton of cubes, draw a ton of cylinders, you know, or maybe like do what's called an art study painting of this one, why you found art fun in the first place, you know.
So going all the way back to when you first started drawing, I do remember seeing a couple of like pictures you took of like your old drawings. I believe they were like Sonic Forces fan art.
Oh yes.
And I wanted to ask, like, what resources helped you the most to learn art to get to the point where you are now?
The biggest thing I feel like is like, I think painting. Like I think I think back then like I messed up in how I do line art, and also like how I do layering, because I used to do crazy amounts of layers, you know. And it would come to a point where like too much is like too messy, like it doesn't look good, you know. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but essentially it's like I learned to like cut down layers, and also like I watched a few videos and like learned from other artists that I really enjoy. I spent like around that time, after like around this that artwork, and now like I think I would study from the Yusuke, what's his name? It's Yusuke Nakano. It's like his name's something like that. It was a Legend of Zelda artist. He's the same one who did the Smash Bros. Mural. And so I would like learn from him, and also like this other artist that's called Hunger Clicker. I would like watch his timelapse. I would be like trying to figure out how he would do that, and that like really helped me develop my own workflow and like my own style, like really well. Like it took a bunch of time. Like, I think I want to say like it took a year of study, exactly, like 2 years of study, just to get a place where I'm like somewhat comfortable with, and yeah.
When you say study, is there like a particular way you like to art study? Is it trying to recreate the image again, or focusing on a specific technique they used, or how do you like to study art?
I think back then like I would just like replicate them, like try to like get in their mindset. But I think like as time goes, like I feel like once you refined your skills a bit more, I think it's like easy to like work on like one thing at a time. So like, for example, me, like I was struggling with backgrounds. Like I don't think I was like good at it. And then I would just like watch videos and like learn about like how other artists would like tackle backgrounds and like how they would like simplify that. And yeah, like essentially I think it's like easy if people like take one thing at a time. Like if you struggle with hands, work on hands. If you struggle with what's it called, like perspective, you can do that after, you know, one thing at a time. Make it easy for yourself.
From studying a lot of artists, did you notice that your workflow changed, or if it didn't, like why or why not, or how did it change?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said in like 2 questions ago, I think I said that like I learned to like cut back on my layers a lot more, and like that really helped making always like a lot faster, because it's like you're cutting like a lot of processes and like you simplify them, you know. Like it's easy. Like for me, it's like I have like very shaky hands on this here, so it's like very easy for me to like paint over the drawing instead of like doing line art. That's just me personally. And once I learned that's like, yeah, work around that, you know.
How do you determine whether an artwork is like completed or like still a draft?
Oh, that's a good question. I would like usually take like breaks in between the drawings to know that, because like you could be like rendering a lot and then you come back to it and you realize, oh man, that's still like stuff I could add, you know, because it feels empty at times. And yeah, like I guess it's like you have to trust your eye, because like even now, like I look at some of my older stuff, I'm like, this feels a little empty. I probably could have added this, and this, and like all that stuff. So yeah.
You mentioned using both traditional and digital materials for art. Which would you recommend for beginner artists?
It depends on like where you start. I say like if you did start with like start drawing on mobile or like on iPad, I'll recommend like a screen tablet, because I think that would look much easier on you. But if you want something like more affordable, I would recommend like the screenless tablets. Basically, I think the one I'm using right now is like Huion.
Oh,
I don't know how to say that. Yeah, that's the one I'm using right now. Like, but also keep in mind, if you're gonna get these type of tablets, like there is like a bit of learning curve, because like you have to adapt your hand to like what you see on screen. You know, it's a little different. Yeah. So keep that in mind.
What advice do you wish you've gotten when you were starting your art journey?
That's a good one. I would say to myself, like, I wish I knew about, I guess like how to do poses a bit more better, because that's something I noticed, like even now, like even though I did get like a little bit better at it, I wish I did get like I did notice that there's a little bit of stiffness with some of my poses. I would like if I could like go back in time and tell my younger self, hey, learn how to do poses, I would do that.
Final question, what's next for your illustration journey?
There's a few stuff I've been working on. I can't really say yet, but I think you'll see them soon. There's nothing big, but it's like special in a way. So I guess like keep that in mind. You might see it next time. Who knows?
So we're done here, right? We found a possible reason as to why the art was so gravitating, and we can move on with life. But here's the thing. Here, in this household, we like to apply what we learned. So let's do that real quickly, shall we? Plus, you know how I said the Year of Silver or Year of Hope will probably never officially happen? Well, why don't we, the fans, do what we do best and make it ourselves? Allow me this moment to pitch to you the Year of Silver. First off, it's not gonna be in 2026. I know, it's literally his anniversary year, but let's be honest. The reason we like the Year of Shadow is because there were things coming out that were planned and seasonally done in advance. You know, it's like eating steak. It's like eating a steak that was marinated. So let's give ourselves the time to complete whatever fan project we wish to contribute to this fan event with a healthy deadline, which is 2027. And as the name suggests, it's a year-long event, so you get to choose what month you want to share what you've been working on. There are only maybe 2 rules for this event. Fan project you're working on must be public only in 2027, and 2, it must be related to silver or the concept of hope. And that's it. There's no need to sign up for this event, or if you wish to contribute something midway to 2027, that's totally fine. It's just for fun. I mean, think about it. Korn showed us that you can take a step a company with responsibilities of paying its employees could not, so why not try to do something for the year of hope? What do you say? Alright, now to color. How do colors work again? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to Korn for his time and answers. I hope the questions were informative and also inspire more people to create more and not use AI. So please go check out all the others as well. I put their links in the description as well as timestamps so it's easier for you guys. And if you can't tell, this is going to be a series where I do like an art essay type video or like an art analysis, but I don't know, kind of mixing it together and see how that goes. So do let me know if there's anything I can improve on. Also, talking about the pitch for like Silver's year, no one's really going to be hosting it really. It's just an idea that the community could run with, so just wanted to give that a like heads up to people. I'm not going to be running it, Korn's not going to be running it, no one's going to be running it. It's just a matter of if the community wants to do something together, they could do it, you know? But yeah. I guess that was it. Yeah, that's crazy. This video took so long, y'all. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.